I've seen how we are received around the world.
Oh, yeah.
I've been to Japan, I've been to China, so I know exactly what you're saying in that aspect. But my question to you, I love to keep it basketball because your basketball life is amazing. You've played against Shaq, Karl Malone, come on, man, Alonzo Mourning. Who was the toughest? Like, who would you like say, man, I don't believe I got to deal with this guy tonight?
Okay, Shaq has a problem with me. Because, I'm probably the only guy that could hold him down, like 3 or 4 points, 5 points, stuff like that. But Alonzo Mourning just literally, passionately just hate me. Because I just get in his head all the time, stuff like that. He's stronger and stuff like that, but, I didn't worry about that. Karl Malone, I love Karl Malone. He used to date my sister. So
That's one for 30-30.
I know, right? He used to date my sister. They used to go to the same school together, Louisiana Tech. And I love Karl Malone, man. He's a great, man. Karl Malone was great, man. I love playing against him. He was tough as hell, though. But, yeah, Karl Malone. I think Karl Malone, out of all three of those guys, the toughest.
All right. Delaware, you having a good time tonight? Awesome. My last question to you is, what does love mean to you?
Wow, that's funny, huh? I talked about that earlier, right? About love. My mother didn't know anything about love. No, I never heard her speak about love. I think I say love just because I think I need to sometimes, just to get myself over the hump. Just a true story. I say this all the time about my ass. I said, if I actually love somebody, I think I would actually, really love somebody. I love my kids here. But out there, I got such a big problem because I don't know how to brace them like that. Because when I hold my kids, they'll say, Dennis, Dad. Like you can, when they come hug me and say, you can put your arm around me. I'm like, oh shit, because it's like now they can more attached to me now, and I'm getting more attached to them. But for me, love is more like a man and a woman, And if I had that, I think you guys would probably never see me again. I'm being honest. I've done everything in the damn world. I lost it all, gained it all, lost it all, gained it all. But it's like, now it's my turn to try to find love and try to find some damn happiness on this damn planet. So it's like, wow. So I might just go to an island like Hawaii or something like that and just probably live my life, and turn this fame off. Let me go rest in peace. That's cool as hell because I never had that before. So that's how I look at it.
All right, any questions? Come on up to the microphone.
Make sure they're good, man.
It's only 4. They got to be good. It's only 4 questions.
So my question would be, back in the 90s, obviously, you and in the early 2000s, Allen Iverson would be probably one of the first people to influence the style of today and the NBA as it is today as well. What are your thoughts on it? And do you think that you innovated it as much as it can be, or do you think you could take it further now?
As far as the style or just the
fashion and style?
For the fashion stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think when I started doing what I was doing in 1993, I think I took the whole sports world by surprise as far as like, wow, this guy's take this whole game off the court another level. Off the court. I was doing more stuff off the court I was doing on the court. And all the stuff I was doing off the court, it wasn't even dangerous. It was cool as hell. But back then, people didn't know how to handle me because I was just out there just doing my thing, dating Madonna, dating Carmel, dating this, dating that, whatever, So, great. So, this fucking guy.
That was my next couple questions.
So, yeah, I just took it to a whole different level. I think if you look back in the 60s and 70s, you saw all those guys in New York. They was dressing so cool, man, back then. Walt Frazier and all those guys, all the guys back in the 60s, they were dressing really funky, man. And I just started taking it to a different level because it's like nobody was dressing the way I was dressing. I was dressing so retro, so 50s and 60s and 70s, making it so cool. And then next thing you know, I started doing tattoos in 1992. And I started getting piercings all over my body and stuff like that. And it's just more like that. I started dyeing my hair. I started doing the drag stuff. And the NBA knew all about this drag stuff. I was going to drag clubs, stuff like that. They knew all about it. They didn't stop it because I wasn't really, really that involved. I was good. I love my community. But, yeah, man, I changed it like that. You know, it wasn't Ivan Iverson. Don't do that. Don't do that.
This question is for my man right here. What was Madonna like? No, it's for him. This is his question. Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
She was cool. No, I'll give you something. I'll give you guys something. You know, me and Madonna, we had a great relationship, man. We dated for like a year, going off and on for 3 years. But, you know, she would always come in and say, you don't like me? Because I never lay beside her. And she'll say, do you want me to bring another girl in here? I said, I wouldn't respond to her. And then she'll sit there and dance with me. You know, in the bedroom. She'll sit there and dance with me, put on her music. It's so fucking bubblegum. Shit. I couldn't stand her damn music, man. I couldn't stand it. She played the damn thing, I just leave the house. Like, so. But, you know, she was a very sexual woman back then, man. Very sexual. And, you know, she was all into that. If you saw some of the stuff on documentary, you saw Madonna being in the audience. She'd be on the front row wearing my number. She'd be here and there with me, stuff like that. Just like with Carmen Electra. You see Carmen right there, being all beautiful, stuff like that. Imagine that. Imagine that.
I'm going to hear that story later.
Hi. I was wondering, how did you get involved into the wrestling there in the late 90s and into the 2000s? I see you still have the Riddle hat, so I can see you still pay attention to it nowadays.
Right.
And how much did you enjoy it? Or did you?
So what I did, I've been knowing Hulk Hogan for a long time, since the 80s, when he was doing Hulkamania. So one day in Chicago, I got a phone call before the game in Chicago, 1997. So they passed a message to me and said, Dennis, we want you to come to Detroit for an NWO wrestling match, Hulk Hogan. I said, I agree. So after I got through playing the game, I changed clothes, got on a private plane, went to Detroit at the Palace, and I said, what are we doing, Hulk? So I got this big top hat, black hat on, Mad Hatter, I got gloves on, all stuff like that, a vest, black stuff like that. So he said, hey, we're going to walk out of here, be some badass and stuff like that. So we went out there, and Hulk said, you going to be my tag team partner. I said, wait a minute. I just played a damn basketball game for 3 hours. He said, you could do that because I wrestled before. He said, all right. So anyway, so we went out there and wrestled for like 45 minutes. And from that point on, I wrestled for like 10, 11 years after that. I was wrestling when I was playing basketball. You know, after a game, after practice, I go wrestle and come back.
Yeah, I saw a match that you had, I think it was in Australia, with Kurt Hennig.
Oh, my God. Ooh, boy, you was there?
No, I found a DVD once of it.
Boy, were you there?
No, I was not.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we was all drunk. Dude, I ain't lying to you. I'm surprised we even wrestled back then, man. My God, woo. We was all liquored up, dude. But it was cool in Australia. It was fun.
Thank you very much.
All right, bro.
All right, so my question is, you obviously played with Michael on the second three-peat, but you also played with a young Kobe back in 99-2000 when you were on the Lakers. You guys didn't know. So, did you see glimpses of the Kobe that he ended up becoming? And what did you think about that, like thinking about him?
Well, of course, when you heard Michael Jordan give that ceremony when Kobe died, what he called his little brother, everyone knew Kobe emulated Michael. Everyone in the world knew that because he acted like Michael, he talked like Michael, he spoke like Michael. But Kobe was close to Michael. I mean, as far as the basketball skill. But here's another funny story. I played with Kobe in 1999. So Jerry Buss came and saw me at Root Chris Steakhouse. He had like 8 girls, 2 limos, like he always does. He come and get me. We're in there drinking, having a good time. And Jerry Buss said, "Oh, Dennis, you want to come play for the Lakers?" I said, "Oh, Jerry, no, I know how you are." Seriously, come play for me, Dennis. I said, "All right, Jerry, whatever you say." So the next day, let's get to COVID for a minute. The next day, he gave me a helicopter, fly to the forum. So I get there, it's a press conference. I said, "Shit, this shit is really real. I'm actually gonna be playing for the Lakers." So as I'm walking through the corridor to go to the press room, the coach come out, Harris, what's his name? Harris? Dale Harris, right? He's walking toward me, so he pulled me to the side. He said, "Damn, man, I wish I could have coached you." And I said, "You just got fired?" He said, "Yep." I said, "Y'all sure did." I said, "Fuck." Oh, no, I've been walking inside there. Oh my God, it was okay. Gotta go on here and do this press conference. So I go to the press conference, saying one little speech, stuff like that. Then after doing the press conference, I get a phone call. Jeannie Buss called me. Jeannie Buss said, "Dennis, you want to go out to dinner?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" I mean, no, Jeannie said she was back in Playboy days. So she said, "You want to go out to dinner?" I said, "Yeah, great, cool." So they put me up at the Ritz-Carlton in the penthouse. And she said, "Well, you want to go have some drinks?" Have some drinks. So she come back to her room. Of course, but take it from there. So I start. So this is a true story. I started dating Jeannie Buss. This is a true story. I dated her for 6 months. 6 months. That's another one. So she owns the Lakers, guys, just like you know. But yeah, so I started playing with Kobe and Shaq and stuff like that. So I would come to the stadium and people would come see me because they haven't seen me in 6 months. So Kobe and Shaq would be so envious of me just because they catered to me so much about me coming to the game, going out to the game, having parties, doing this, doing that, hotel, stuff like that. They couldn't stand me on that damn team, to be honest with you. I'm being honest. And I played for 22 games. We won the first 10 games. And the first 10 games, shit you not, I said this. Well, I got to take a break. I got to go to Vegas. This is a true story. Look it up, guys. It's a true story. I said after 10 games, I got to go to Vegas. I was like, damn, man, because I couldn't hear that shit every day. Every day they bitching and bitching and bitching, complaining. Every day, Kobe and Shaq, they just bitching about everything. So I said, I got to take a damn break. I'm not used to this, man. In Chicago, we never did this shit. If we got mad at ourselves. But Kobe was, he was the shit, man. I mean, he just like Michael, he wanted that ball. Since he was 18 years old, when he got that ball in the final shot, ever since then, he became the Kobe that people loved, man. A very famous man. Like I said, he's probably closer to Mike than anybody. Oh, another part of that story too. So back to you, watch this. So I played with the Lakers, right? So one day I was going to the stadium, and I live in Newport, came to the stadium. So the coach came. I said, "Dennis, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just take the day off." He said, "Don't worry about it. We'll get with you tomorrow." So I'm driving back to my beach house. The radio's on. Next thing you know, late breaking news: Dennis Rodman just got released by the Lakers. I said, "Shit." I said, "Really?" Oh man, so that's why he told me to go home. I was like, my God, that's a true story, man. Like, fuck. They were so relieved. It's Kobe and Shaq.
Now, Scottie Pippen just came out with a book called Unguarded, and I just want to get your thoughts on, I don't know if you read it or what you think about that situation.
I love Scottie. Scottie revolutionized that position. He revolutionized the position, point forward. He did. Even though Michael Jordan was a point forward, but Scottie was that lanky, 6'9" guy that could come down and just beat you on a dribble, 1-2 dunk off the fast break. A lot of guys couldn't do that back then. I mean, literally just 1-2 dunk. And Scottie has made these young kids today look good. Because you got these 6'9", 6'10" guys playing point guard. You know, you got Ben Simmons, he's like 6'10" or something like that.
That's the wrong name to use around.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to use this example. Like Kobe was 6'8". Who was he? You know, just like the guy in Milwaukee, same thing. You know, people like that that can dribble the ball, can shoot, and do all the fast break stuff like that. But Scotty was one of the main guys that really created that position, man, like that. But the book, I don't know what to say about that. I lived with those guys for 4 years, and I never saw that. But I just think Scott is so hurt because he wanted to get that recognition with Michael. Because he grew up with Michael that whole 11 years they played together with each other. And he wanted the fact that Michael got $10 million for that documentary, he got nothing. So I didn't care about getting shit, you know. I didn't care about the money. It wasn't about me getting money from that documentary. I got more out the documentary, money-wise, fuck that. You know, that's between him and Scotty. But I just think the fact that, I don't know, man, he just hurt just because of Michael and stuff like that, and all the stuff he's saying about that book. I think people are going to buy the book just to see what he says about Michael. You know, not about, he never said anything about Phil Jackson. It's about Michael. That Michael don't give him respect. So.
Well, one more.
How you doing, Dennis? You talk about a lot of your hardships growing up and within your playing career. What is that one thing that motivated you to just, you know, wake up and keep playing good basketball, or trying to be a good son to your mom, you know, trying to, you know, keep succeeding in life? And were you aware that you were doing so well in the NBA when you were in the NBA? Like you were really.
You know, once I left Detroit, they groomed me to be a basketball player and try to be a man. They groomed me from 25 to 32. You know, because even when I was 28, 29 years old, I was still like just a young kid in the head. You know, make money, spend money, stuff like that. But as far as when I left Detroit, I actually became a man. I actually started to think about myself instead of, you know, just trying to just help people just to like me because I was an athlete. You know, a lot of people do that. But as far as my mother, I'm so happy for her, man, just because she's made it through a lot of trials and tribulations. And now I'm getting to love my mother now. You know, back then I think I regretted her so much for kicking me out and stuff like that. And I think that has worn over. Not because she got brain surgery. It's the fact that when I saw her a couple weeks ago, I said, well, I don't know why I was mad at you all these years. You know, I said, damn. And she speaks so soft and all that stuff like that. And said, you just like that, speak soft. So I saw my sisters and stuff like that. I gotta fix their taxes. But
Do you think that her kicking you out helped you at all? Like,
what's that?
Did it help you put your head on right? Her kicking you out and just the discipline that she gave you?
I wasn't doing anything when she kicked me out. I wasn't even playing basketball. I just started picking up the game of basketball just by accident. I just started growing, you know, 6'1", 6'2", and people started saying, "This is go to the gym, play basketball." I didn't know how to play basketball. I learned how to play. Every day, it's like 9 hours a day we go there. I have like 5 pair of socks on each foot. I have 1 pair of Converse that we washed every day in the sink and put them outside to dry, stuff like that. I played every day, for like a couple of years, man, until I got my break.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of stories.
Well, Mr.
Let's sit down one day. I'll give you some stuff. Sit down, leave some stuff. I got some other stuff I can talk to you about.
Okay, cool. Well, Mr. Rodman, we thank you for sharing your time, your energy, and a little piece of your life with us, with Wilmington, Delaware.
That's a piece, right?
Just a little piece. Well, it was enough, though.
Well, now I'm just saying to you, next time you invite me, damn it, make sure it's hot.
Gotcha.
Living in Miami, and Phoenix, goddamn. Oh my God, that's cool though.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Rodman. Unfortunately, you know, we are still not out of the woods yet with this pandemic. So unfortunately, we are going to ask you to leave the building at this time. I'm so sorry, but maybe we can get one selfie with the crowd.